Hi, my name is Dewan Ahmed and I'm a developer advocate at Aiven. In this video, we'll check how we can deploy multiple PostgreSQL services across clouds and across geographical regions. Let's get started. From data residency to disaster recovery, there can be many reasons why organizations might need their services distributed across clouds and across regions. In this recipe of Aiven Terraform Cookbook, you can see such setup. So we have PostgreSQL service, but distributed across 3 clouds and regions. We have the steps for you to follow here, where you can see the helper files as well as the services file where we have these Terraform resources. What I have done is I've gone on to my VS Code and copied these 4 files into an empty folder. Let's look at the first one, which is the provider file. This file tells Terraform which Terraform provider to use, the specific version. Then we have the variables file and the var values or tier vars files where the actual value are coming from. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that, Dewan, I can look at your token, but this is a recorded demo. So by the time you're watching this demo, this token will no longer be valid. Now let's check out the services file. Here we have the 3 PostgreSQL services, the Aiven for PostgreSQL services defined. I have the project name, which is coming as a variable. I have cloud underscore name, 3 different cloud providers, AWS, DigitalOcean, and Google Cloud, and 3 different regions, Europe, US, and Asia. For the plan, I'm using Business 8, but this is a demo. For your use case, you might choose a lower or higher plan. Now for the service name, I have prepended dev add prefix. That's because I want to separate my running services from the other services on the Aiven console. And finally, I have termination protection to true. So this prevents accidental deletion of your services. We'll check out on that later. So if we have a fresh project, the first thing you want to do is Terraform init. What that does is it initializes the project folder, downloads the required provider plugin. Once you do that, the next step for us would be, let's check out the recipe. Terraform plan. You might ask, what is Terraform plan? Think of it like a preview. So Terraform plan doesn't actually create those resources, but it shows you what resources it's going to create, modify, or delete. So in this case, Terraform is telling me that, hey, Dewan, I hope to create these services. So the plus indicates these would be created. I have this Aiven underscore PostgreSQL, the next one, and another one. That looks good. If I'm happy, then what I'll do is I'll actually go ahead with the Terraform apply command. All right, so Terraform apply will actually modify or create those resources, so be very careful with this command. Terraform will explicitly ask me if I want to go ahead with it. I can type in yes. I would also pass in the -auto -approve flag. Then I wouldn't need that explicit yes, but that is not recommended for production. All right, now that we're doing this, let's actually go and check out our Aiven console to see if we're actually seeing those resources. So I'll type in dev and just so that I can separate my services from the other services, and I can see the services are being created. The flashing blue indicates that the VMs are being provisioned. And then at this point, we can also go and check out the CLI to see how our services are doing. Services are being created. Rather than making you wait, let's actually fast forward the service creation for you, and then we'll come back once the services are up and running. All right, solid green indicates that our services are up and running. You can go to your service and you can connect to your PostgreSQL service. Now let's go back to the terminal, and the terminal sometimes takes an extra bit of time for completion, but let's give it a few more seconds and hopefully this process will end as well. Awesome. So now that our services were created successfully, let's try to tear down our services. So destroy the services. For that, it will be Terraform destroy command. What do you think? Will we be able to destroy the services? Let's see. When we try to destroy the services, you'll see an error because we have the flag termination protection on. So that prevents accidental deletion. So in order to be able to delete, what we have to do is we have to toggle this termination protection button. So let's do that for all services. And termination protection off. And let's turn off that for the last service. So now that we have termination protection off, let's try the same command. Hopefully this time we'll be able to destroy it. And now if we go back to the console and try to search by dev-ed, we should be seeing all 3 services being deleted. In this video, you learn how to deploy multiple PostgreSQL services across clouds and regions. For more delicious recipes, check out the Aiven Terraform cookbook in the description below.